Welcome to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
I'm Rob. We didn't lose today. Let's go.
Yes, we did not lose. This is 2 Sundays in a row we have not lost. It's been 4 Sundays in a row since we've lost.
Yes.
Actually, if you want to include our 2-game winning streak. Plus, we didn't play today. We didn't play at all last week. So, woo. It's the longest we've gone without a loss by the Giants in how many years? So feels a little weird, but we're going to give you guys our recap today on Sunday since we're playing tomorrow on Monday. It should be, a fun game tomorrow. We're playing a team that, been playing pretty good lately here. So we're going to start off here with the injury updates to a certain degree. So we're going to give you guys who's out officially for the game here. So on the Packers side here, officially Jaire Alexander, who's a just absolute stud corner, is out for them. That's a huge loss for these guys here. Also, Christian Watson, who is one of their top 3 receivers, also out for the game as well. So, yeah, another big loss there on their end there. On our side, Burger Flipper Evan Neal is going to be out of the game, so he won't be in. So we'll have to, do it.
If you want a hamburger, he will be at the stadium.
Yes. He'll be at the concession stands. He will never, ever, ever live those comments down, and never should. Screw you, Evan Neal. Point blank. Don't go after the fans. We don't forget. We hold grudges for life. Reading between the lines.
Somewhere in the middle.
Reading between the lines.
Yeah.
Now, we are going to give you guys the rest of the full breakdown of the injury report here on a special edition we're going to be doing right after this in the subscriber group for people who have signed up at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs and gone to the membership and signed up for one of those. So if you haven't already, go ahead and sign up so you don't miss the second half here. We talk about all the injuries that are coming up here for tomorrow. All right, on to the NFL news here. We got a lot of news that's popped up here lately, guys. It's been kind of fun for us because we don't have to go through every single part of the recap because, quite frankly, we don't have the time to anymore. There's been so much news going on with these week in, week out that we want to give you guys that. So we're kind of cutting down the recaps a little bit to do that for you. And a ton of news here again. Officially, Joe Flacco has been named the starting Browns quarterback for the rest of the season. So interesting for a guy that wasn't signed until halfway through the season now.
And
he's in the middle of a playoff race.
And he's looking pretty darn good.
Yeah.
That's for real.
Just saying, when the Giants are looking for a potential, person to teach next year, depending on what they do with Jones and all that kind of situation there, Flacco might not be the worst option to look at there.
Well,
Not saying I want him to start. Don't want him to start. But as a veteran
now.
Yeah, well, I doubt it's going to happen anyway because if we keep Jones, keep DeVito, then have this rookie that's 3 right there. So probably not going to happen, but, Next up, free agent tight end Zach Ertz has said he's been talking to 6 teams. So we're down to 6 teams vying for the services of the veteran tight end there. The Eagles, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, and 49ers are all known to have had conversations with him. So we don't know who the 6th mystery team is. Ooh, the mystery team. But you never know. So we'll have to see what goes on there. The New York Jets are rumored to not be considering any coaching changes this offseason. That's been the topic of a lot of people in the New York area there who, blame Robert Saleh on some of the issues that the teams had this year, along with their offensive coordinator and Hackett as well. Listen, I've been on record, and I'll say it again. I cannot blame the coaching staff for what's going on. Who would have thought that Aaron Rodgers would throw 3 passes and be out for the year? Or 2 passes. He didn't make it a 3 passes. 2 passes.
He was 3 and out.
Yeah, you can't blame the coaching staff on that. That season was over the second that injury happened. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sad but true. On better news, Browns and safety Grant Delpit agreed to a 3-year, $36 million extension this week. Something to kind of keep an eye on, because who's one of the biggest free agents we have this offseason? Xavier McKinney. So interesting position, because any contracts that happen at those positions, guys, will be affecting point blank how the offseason does go as far as the signings of any other safeties, including Xavier McKinney. So once you get a 12-year offer out there, people start going, you got $12 million a year.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say McKinney will not be a Giant next year, probably, to be honest with, if those are the kind of numbers he wants. But we'll have to see what happens. Who knows? Maybe he gives a team-friendly deal. Maybe he realizes he's not as good as Grant Delpit has been at times. Who knows? We'll have to see. Other rumors here. After the losses to the Cardinals and the Patriots, which, let's be honest, is pretty embarrassing back-to-back losses, rumors started that Mike Tomlin may be on the hot seat. Diana Rossini of The Athletic is reporting he is not. And if he was, the Steelers were batshit crazy. Point blank. Yeah. There's no better coach in this league than Mike Tomlin. That team has no business being anywhere near 500. If anything, the GM should be in the hot seat.
Yes.
Tomlin, safe. Should be safe. Should have a career for contract for life, basically. Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Should be.
Crazy thing is, he's still in his early 50s. He could coach in like 20, 25 years still. Scary part. He started off so young. People forget how young he still is. He's been in the league for over a decade now, but he was young when he started off there. Some sadder news here starting. Vikings offensive coordinator Wes Phillips was arrested Friday night on a DWI. What the last name sounds familiar. Wes is actually the son of former head coach Wade Phillips, also a former defensive coordinator for like half the league, it seems like. But Phillips was with the team today, did coach today, so we'll have to see long term what happens there. But not a very good history for what happens to guys who get caught doing that. Yeah. So I think the Vikings may be shopping for new offensive coordinator. I think it's safe to say that.
Yeah, especially in the league where they will legit pay for your chauffeur.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no excuse for that kind of thing. Point blank.
Yeah.
Do not drink and drive. Do not drive under the influence any way, shape, or form. This is why I always preferred house parties. You can't get in trouble at a house party. You just stay there.
The worst case, you have a marker on your face.
Yep. No, I never woke up with that, luckily.
I was out at first to pass out.
In other sad news here, also, former Titans 3-time Pro Bowler tight end Frank Wycheck died in his home after falling and hitting his head. Interesting, because that's the same way that, if I remember correctly, the same that happened to Bob Saget, except he was in a hotel room instead of his house. So, what are things you never think about? Like, you fall when you're alone and hit your head and die.
Yeah, I mean, we're a bunch of meat balloons, if you will.
What?
We're a bunch of meat balloons.
Meat balloons.
Yeah. We all this around us.
Oh, I hear you. It's just a weird way, like, for two people to be, famous and have it happen within a year. It's like something I would never have thought of 12 months ago.
Bob Saget was longer than a year ago, no?
Yeah, it was only a year ago. I want to say it was. Was it? I don't know.
I want to say it's like 3 years ago.
Let's see. I'm looking it up. Nope. January 9th of this. It was last year. You're right. It was almost 2 years ago. It feels like such a short amount of time. Okay. Anyway, 24 months ago, I would never have thought of that as a possibility.
Yeah.
Of all the ways to go. So, prayers with him and his family and friends, obviously, because that's that young. That's hard. He's probably pretty much best known for being a big part of that Music City Miracle back in '99. And What's crazy about that play, and I don't think it's talked about enough, it's not just that the Titans beat the Bills because of making the laterals on that move there and getting that last second touchdown. That's the season they went to the Super Bowl, guys. A lot of things don't happen if that play doesn't happen. So never talked about enough, I thought. But all righty, on to happier news here. Let's get to happier news. Let's not be too sad.
Happy news.
So the Giants have officially moved up from pick number 7 to pick number 5 after the action today. So that's some good news there. If we lose tomorrow, which Rob and I are both expecting, we'll move up to number 4. So interesting because
I'm not saying they're going to lose tomorrow.
We're not expecting them to
they're not going to lose by a touchdown.
We're expecting them to lose. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah,
we're expecting them to lose.
Yes.
Now, if they lose, as we expect, like I said, they'll be down to number 4. Rob and I were just talking about this before the show. If the Giants lose tomorrow and lose next week, and somehow the Patriots and the Cardinals win next week, the Giants could be all the way up to pick number 2 at the end of next week. That'd be pretty crazy. Keep in mind, the Chicago Bears have the first overall pick. We have no clue what they want with Justin Fields. It's a very good possibility that in that scenario, we may be able to get the pick of whatever quarterback we want because by all accounts, they are enamored with getting Marvin Harrison Jr. in Chicago. And if they go down just even a couple picks, they're probably not going to get him. Because the first team that doesn't need a quarterback, they're going to take him. So, and the Cardinals, they might be the person right there. All righty.
Bird.
Now,
Bird. Bird is bird.
What?
Bird. Bird is bird. I'm just saying, like, if the Cardinals take him, bird is bird.
All righty. Now, if the Giants win tomorrow, again, we don't expect it, but if it happens, hypothetically, the Giants are also officially just one game out of the playoffs. That is really scary. But that's where the Giants would be. Yeah.
I hear you.
So
I understand that.
I hope you hear me. That means the equipment's working correctly.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, if you look at...
Fantastic. I can hear you.
If you look at where the Giants are right now, okay, we're at 4-8. If we win, we're at 5-8. Okay? You got the Falcons, the Saints, the Seahawks, the Rams, and in that scenario, the Packers would all be 6-7.
So
we have a lot of teams we'd have to leapfrog. I'm not sitting there saying the Giants are sitting pretty.
yeah, I was about to say, you have to take away Atlanta.
That's the scary part.
You have to take away Atlanta. You have to take away Tampa Bay. You have to take away New Orleans. Because they're all battling a losing battle, if you will. They will win that division down there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you never know. You never know. So we'll have to see what happens there. So
that's what a lot of people said about
let's get
the Packers coming to this game.
Well, the Packers are the ones winning in the last couple weeks. So all of a sudden, they're one of the hottest teams basically in the entire NFL right now, along with obviously the Broncos. You still got to consider them one of the hottest. But I mean, as of right now, the Packers have won. The Packers have won the last 3 games in a row, and they're being considered one of the hottest teams in the NFL. Guess what happens if the Giants win? They've won 3 in a row. So I'm just saying. There.
You're wrong.
Yeah. So, alrighty. Let's get into the games here this week, because we already see some Kadarius Toney comments. We'll get to that topic here, because that's a fun one. First up, obviously we talked a little bit about in the previous episode that we have the Patriots beat the Steelers 21-18 on Thursday night there. Let's get into today's there. Rob, you go up first.
I'll go first. You say what?
Say what?
You want me to talk about the Patriots and the Steelers?
We just said that.
I know, I was about to say. Anyway, so you got the Buccaneers going to Atlanta playing the Falcons. The Bucks win 29-25.
What the buck?
Yeah, what the buck is a lot of people expected the Falcons to win this game, but at the end of the day, these two teams had a good old slobber knocker, if you will. Good old slobber knocker. These two teams are now in a 3-way tie for the division lead with the Saints at 6-7.
How sad is that? You got a divisional lead under 500, but the weird thing is to have 3 of the 4 teams all at 6-7.
The Bucks hold the tiebreaker currently.
I'm wondering how many of these teams did they play the Panthers already twice? Because if you think about it, they're 6-7. If they played the Panthers twice and beat them twice already, that means they're 4-7 outside of playing the Panthers, which is a really bad record.
They're just god awful.
Yeah.
That division is god awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely bad. Next up, we got the Rams at the Ravens. Ravens win 37-31. The Ravens, Tylan Wallace returned a punt 76 yards for the touchdown to win the game in walk-off fashion in overtime. What's very interesting as well is he's the backup punt returner. He's not the usual. Their usual is injured. So talk about coming up in a big way in an unexpected role.
Talking about coming up.
I'm coming up.
Or coming at all.
Whoa.
The Bears.
Bears.
They came all over the place with this victory.
Whoa.
I don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't know either. I'm kind of worried about where you're going with this.
I'm going to finish it right here. So the Bears win 28 to the Lions 13. The Lions have looked sad. Yeah. They've looked meh.
They're coming down to earth, guys.
Yeah, they've come back down to earth big time. Lions win 28 to the Lions. The Bears win 28 to the Lions 13. Lions were up at 13-10.5. But the Bears just scored 18-0 in the second half.
Yeah,
and just kind of turned this game around.
Took it over.
Yeah, they took it over. And listen, when I bet this game saying the Bears are going to win, there were supposed to be like 30, 35 Irish wins going through the Windy City. It didn't happen.
Aptly named.
It didn't happen.
Sometimes it does. The weather does change. It can happen. So,
didn't happen.
We had a very similar outcome for the next game here. Colts at the Bengals. The Bengals win 34-14. Game was tied at the half. But then the Bengals and quarterback Jake Browning outscored the Colts 20-0 in the second half. So, yeah, that game went away pretty quickly there. And one of the games that I got right this week and Rob got wrong.
Oh, boo you. Up next, we got the Jaguars at the Browns. We went to Cleveland. The Cleveland Browns won this game 31-27 against Jacksonville. Jacksonville was not supposed to have the quarterback. They were not supposed to have Christian Kirk is on injury reserve. And they weren't supposed to have possibly their running back. But they still held in there. Joe Flacco looked like a superstar. He looked like he was in the Super Bowl and just outdueled Trevor Lawrence, who threw for 3 interceptions to the Browns defense.
Alrighty. Next up, we got the Panthers at the Saints. Panthers won 28-6. Even with this new head coach, the Panthers offense just looks absolutely dismal. It's just pathetic and sad at this point. Next up.
Oh, well, I'm actually kind of pissed. I have to talk about this game because I've talked so much about CJ Stroud, talked so much about this Texan team, and what do? 30-6, Jets win. Jets didn't even know who or what it was going on, but the Jets settled for a lot of field goals, but had a good offense output. Meanwhile, the rookie sensation, C.J. Stroud, and the Texans only had 135 yards on offense. They look abysmal. They look like that Jets defense took a big old Duke.
Yeah, it was bad to watch if you weren't rooting for the Jets. Vikings at the Raiders here. Vikings win 3-0. Oof. That's bad, guys. That's really bad. Justin Jefferson also came back from injury in the game, only to get injured again. This time he injured his chest and was actually brought to the hospital as a precaution. The game literally went to be the longest time being scoreless in a game since 1982. That's
right.
Saying something when you go that kind of stretch there. They pulled, at times the guy was a local folk hero there in Joshua Dobbs for Nick Mullins in the fourth quarter, who went ahead and got them down to that one field goal. They got interception on the last offensive output there by the Raiders, and had a kind of a weird series of events that could have easily gone for a field goal, lined up for a field goal. Turned out that field goal was a fake to go for a punt instead, try to get more time taken off on the game there. And then what ended up happening was they didn't cover the spread because of that. I'm a little pissed about that personally. That would have got me another win.
Just because of that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Let's real quick before we get into more games here, because we only have a couple more games to go over. Let's go ahead and pay the bills and let's go through some of the comments here real quick.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta scroll back up here now.
Enjoying the show? Looking for more goofball action? Consider a membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Memberships start at just $5 and give you additional goofball access. One-time support payments also available starting at just $3. buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.
Oh yeah. Connor says, yay, we are number 5. Weren't we 2 before? We were 2 before, and then we started winning a couple games. That's what happens when you win, guys. Your draft pick becomes worse. Connor says, is it a bad hair day? I used to get my hat popped or pulled off my head if I wore it in the house. Well, you know what it is? We're adults. We can do what we want now. Yeah.
And
it's a Christmas hat.
Just saying.
I actually bought a new Giants hat today, and I got it right next to me, actually. And I didn't realize even, because it's a fitted hat. Not a fitted, I'm sorry. It's one of those elastic back ones, fits mostly all size fits ones. No, apparently at Lids, New Era ones, they sell this as small, medium. I just assumed it was one size fits all. So I have to go return this for a medium, large, whatever the hell the other option is.
True. You don't have the biggest dome in the world, but you're definitely not a small, medium.
No, I'm not 100% Irish like you are, pretty much, where you get the Irish head, but
Oh, I got a blockhead. It's a dome.
You got the Irish head.
It is. Listen, I have to wear 7 7/8.
I don't even know what I've never but once in my life bought a fitted cap and probably never will. Things fluctuate, things change depending on what kind of hair I have that time,
Same. But there was someone that was in Marvel when I was in what you call it, the
I don't know. You lost your train of thought there. The train just ran off the rails.
Totally
left the
went
station.
out the window.
Something
But
about Marvel.
no, I was talking about the big old dome when I was at the auction. That's
What
big.
auction?
The big old auction in Central Jersey. Goddamn, with the knee. Why can't I think of it?
The English Town Flea Market? Is that what you're talking about? The English Town Flea Market. Not an auction, it's a flea market.
Yes, you're right. I got measured there. And they're like, God damn, kid, you got a big head.
Yeah, Irish in you.
Yeah.
I mean, I have Irish in me too as well, just not that much. So I'm kind of all mixed over together. So, all right. Deb says, I'm sad that we lost Kadarius Toney. I read he was a wonderful today in KC. Yeah, we're going to go over that in a little bit. But yeah, he is, he did not have such a great day.
Yeah.
Connor says, LOL, Deb, he's still got a Super Bowl, though. Connor says, love your ghetto look, Drew. Represent. This is the Flavor Flav of Giant stuff here. For those who are on the audio, it is a massive chain around my neck with a huge Giants emblem connected to it. Like if this was a clock, it'd be Flavor Flav right there.
Flavor Flav.
I got this actually at the lids too. Actually, I liked it. I was like, I've never seen one of these before. I'm definitely getting this. I like this. This is going to be my new look. I have a feeling in all the episodes. So get used to it. Connor says, you're a mean one, Mr. Roberto.
Ooh.
Oh yes. I gave the pause on purpose. Oh yes. So just wait. You'll get your revenge on Roberto soon, Connor. I have a feeling revenge is coming his way Wednesday. As I believe we said that whoever lost this week was going to have chocolate-covered crickets. Whoever lost the picks. Oh, yes.
Hey, it's high in protein. I would love that. Hey, how are you feeling with the sardines, by the way?
I honestly, the next morning, I was still burping up the olive oil. The olive oil was the worst part. I swear to you, it was. Like, I really think that it was just cheap, cruddy olive oil. I would have been better off not getting one that was in olive oil.
Well, I may have to disagree with that point. I understand what you're saying, but like,
I didn't taste fish when I was burping. I tasted olive oil, cheap, cruddy olive oil.
That's why they use olive oil to cover the fish.
The fish wasn't that bad. It tasted like tuna.
That's what I'm saying. Like they used the olive oil to cover the fish.
No, I'm telling you, it tastes just like tuna. The olive oil wasn't that bad. All right, let's get to the rest of the games here. So,
all right, we got the Bills at the Chiefs.
No, hold on. You're forgetting one. You're skipping. You skipped the line.
Oh, geez, I'm skipping the big one.
I don't know if I call it the big one, but it's a good game.
Well, it was because I won this game.
Well, I think we all won this game, actually.
Oh, okay. Yes, dear. I didn't realize you also took them in the spread. Anyway, you got the Seahawks going into San Francisco.
Why wasn't you talking about that? I'll explain in a minute.
Going to San Francisco. The 49ers. The 49ers put up 28 points. The Seahawks put up 16. Drew Lock started. And the place of Geno Smith. Womp. Who got hurt? Yeah. Shows you where.
Well, he got hurt before the game, but I mean, it's
which on the side note goes to Rob's prediction: Rams make the playoffs.
But here's the good news: this why I say we all win. This means the Seahawks pick for the second round goes lower and lower and lower. Keep in mind, we have the 38th pick overall because of our own ineptitude. Now we also have the 44th pick overall because of the Leonard Williams deal. That is going lower and lower and lower. I think it's like the 60th overall pick when we made the deal. It's gone down like half a round. That's pretty good. That's like really good.
I don't want to bash any player or put anyone down, but Leonard, he wanted to go to a team that was winning.
In all fairness, no, hold on. There was not necessarily that. The Giants wanted to trade him, and they were only going to trade him if Leonard Williams was willing to accept a trade and wanted to go. I wouldn't say necessarily he wanted to go to winner per se.
No, you're right. You're right. I exacerbated what he said to the film, but he wanted to go to a team that was a winning team.
Yeah.
And since then,
have been winning.
And the Giants won twice.
Yep. It's weird how life works out sometimes. Alrighty. Next up, we got the Bills at the Chiefs. Bills win 20-17. Keep their playoff hopes alive there. The Chiefs, though, should have won this game overall. So on the last drive of the game here, right around midfield or so there, Patrick Mahomes throws the ball decent depth over to Travis Kelce, who was about to be tackled, lateraled the ball over to Kadarius Toney, our old buddy there, who was to the left of him, who then promptly ran it in for a touchdown. Everybody's all excited because the game's at Kansas City. Kansas City's going to win because of this touchdown. But wait.
There's more.
There's a flag on the field. There's a flag being thrown around because prior to the play, Kadarius Toney was lined up in the neutral zone. So Kadarius Toney not only scored the touchdown that got nullified, but was the reason why he was nullified because he was a moron. So, yeah, Kadarius Toney is not being very well thought of tonight in the city of Kansas City. That's for sure.
Who won that trade?
Yeah, I still think we won. I think it's safe to say we won. Yeah.
Yeah. Up next, the Broncos go to Los Angeles to play the Chargers.
The Chargers.
Broncos rally around that unicorn. They win 24.
Rally around the family with a pocket full of shells. Broncos on parade. If you get that reference, you're cool. If you don't,
go see Rage Against the Machine.
Anyway,
so Broncos win 24-7. Justin Herbert leaves the game with a finger injury on his throwing hand. Antonio Gates entered the Chargers Hall of Fame at halftime.
Yes.
He was spectacular in this game.
Spectacular this game. The guy who hasn't played multiple years.
Sorry, guys, sidetracked by the dog.
Yeah, so I mean that's probably the only thing the Chargers fans had to look forward to or feel good about is Antonio Gates getting to the Chargers Hall of Fame. I believe he is up this year to go into the NFL Hall of Fame as well. So I fully expect that to happen here. So obviously we got 3 games left here overall. We got the Eagles and the Cowboys, which is going on live as we record this. And then, of course, we have.
What's the update on that game?
I don't know yet. I was going to look it up right now, but I was going to give other things in the meantime while I was looking it up to buy some time. Way to kill that.
I'm sorry, killed the time.
But yes, it's the fourth. It's the first quarter. The Cowboys are up 7-0 as of right now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. That's listen. No matter what, we don't like those teams. Obviously, either one of them. But this should be a good game. But tomorrow night we got the Titans at the Dolphins. Very unlikely to happen, but guys, root for the Titans because the Titans were in the battle for the draft positioning. So you want to root for the Titans. And then, of course, you got the Packers at the Giants. And either way, we're the winner. We either go up to number 4 overall or we win the game and keep our odd playoff hopes alive. It's a win-win for us.
Yeah.
That's how I'm looking at it. Win a chicken dinner on the why I couldn't get that out. Oh my gosh, it's been a long day. All righty, guys. So again, if you have already signed up at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs, so pretty much right after this done here, we're at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time. If you're watching this live, we're going to be off to the Facebook group specifically for subscribers to go over the full injury report for tomorrow night's game there. If you're not signed up yet, we still appreciate you watching and listening, but unfortunately, we're about to be signing off here. So this is your final chance to get on there because we got to get you into the group in order to do it. So, all righty, guys. Again, we will be live tomorrow night as soon as the game is over. So as soon as that game counts down to 0, keep an eye out. We'll be popping right on YouTube, of course, Facebook, Twitter/X, Twitch, and of course, Rob's favorite, as he points the wrong direction, my LinkedIn profile. Oh, yes, my LinkedIn profile. And of course, we're always live. We're always on the next day as well on all the audio podcasts. Not live, unfortunately. Can't be live at both places. But we are on the next day. Of course, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Google Podcasts, all the big ones there where you're on. So if we're not on your podcast platform, it means you're using the wrong podcast platform. So time to switch up, guys. Get with the program here. No goofballs, no fun. That's the rule. All right, guys. We appreciate you guys being on here tonight. Here, let's let you guys go, and so you can either meet us shortly in the other group there to discuss the full injury report, or so we can see you shortly there tomorrow, and you can finish watching the rest of this Cowboys and Eagles games. As always, Giant fans,
Go G-Man!
go G-Man!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support. If you made it this long, you must have enjoyed it. So I am sure you have followed us on all the social media platforms. Of course, you have subscribed to the show on your favorite app as well and given us a top rating. Right? Right? Right?
Thank you to those who have signed up for our silver gold levels of membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.